Hello, this is Neil. Welcome to Article Reading for Juniors. Today's article is about science fiction writer Ray Bradbury, who died recently at the age of 91. He wrote a book called Fahrenheit 451 that was very popular both in the United States and all around the world. We're going to start talking about question number 4. Read the question. When Fahrenheit 451 was published in Russian in 1956, citizens of the Soviet Union generally what? So it's asking how did they feel about his novel when it was published in 1956. So you scroll down to here, wherever you're looking, and read the sentence before it. You should always read the sentence before the quoted sentence when you're answering a question on a standardized test like this. Reporter Igor Pomerantsev, himself an author, said the themes in the book struck a chord with many people in the Soviet Union. Now, strike a chord is your key phrase here. What it means is that people really liked the book because it spoke to something deep inside of them. And this quotation from Igor Pomerantsev tells us what it spoke to in the Russian people. It expressed these themes of destruction of books, destruction of privacy, and destruction of the individual that were important to the Russian people. So you're looking for an answer that's something like they liked the book because it expressed things that they were feeling, that the Russians were feeling. So look at A, disliked the novel. That's opposite of what we're looking for. We don't even need to read the rest. Liked the novel. That sounds right because Ray Bradbury was already very popular in their country. That doesn't sound right. Get rid of that. It doesn't say he's already popular there. What about C? Liked the novel because it was unique in the country. Now that's probably right because it says other books that were similar to it were not published or were banned, in fact, in Russia. So his was the only type of book like that the Russians had ever seen. So C is going to be the best answer, and you'll click it, you'll get it right, and you'll go forward. Now, one word I want to point to is this word dystopian right here. Now, dystopian means sort of a world that is fatally flawed, like there's something incredibly wrong with a world. And a dystopian novel describes a world like that. The Hunger Games books are an example of a dystopian novel. Let's move on to number 5. Right here. According to the paragraph on lines 34 through 46, Bradbury was likely inspired to write science fiction novels when or why. So you go to that paragraph, it's the next one, so it's right here, and you find where it says what inspired him. So he was strongly influenced by the science fiction works of Edgar Rice Burroughs. There you go. That sounds like what inspired him, the science fiction works of Edgar Rice Burroughs. So find the answers that say, or find the answer that says the science fiction works of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Is A right? After reading Tarzan for the first time? No, it doesn't say that Tarzan is what inspired him. Tarzan was written by Edgar Rice Burroughs, but it doesn't sound like a science fiction book. It's just explaining who Edgar Rice Burroughs is by using a familiar character, Tarzan. Get rid of A. What about B? Because he grew up before the Great Depression in a time when little technology existed. That's definitely not right. It says, right there, he was influenced by the science fiction of Edgar Rice Burroughs, not because of the Great Depression. So get rid of B. Look at C. By something he read in the New York Times. Now the article does mention the New York Times here, but it's mentioning it as a place where an interview with Ray Bradbury appeared, not the place where Ray Bradbury got his inspiration. So it's definitely not C. And what about D? By the science fiction of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Exactly what we were looking for. So you click it and you get it right. The last one we'll look at is number 6 right here. Bradbury's quotation on lines 54 through 56 has a tone of what? So how is he saying that quotation on those lines? So let's scroll down to that and see what he's saying. We have too many cell phones. We've got too many internets. We've got to get rid of those machines. We have too many machines now. So he sounds kind of upset, like he doesn't like those things. So the tone of what he is saying there is probably like dislike or something, or something negative, right? So let's look at your choices and try to find one that matches with that idea of something negative or disliking. Look at A, disgust. Now, disgust means you think something is not good, so it's kind of like dislike. Let's click on that for now. We'll see if it's right in a minute by looking at the other answer choices. Joy? That means really great happiness, so that's definitely not what you're looking for. What about terror? Now, terror is negative, but is he afraid of these machines, or does he think that they're just not something that he likes? It's probably that they're not something he likes, so you get rid of C too. And wonder. Wonder means you think something is really interesting and amazing. And he really doesn't seem to say that. He says we have too many of these things, not that he thinks they're wonderful. So get rid of D too. And that's all we're going to talk about today. If you have any other questions, though, you can always go to the forum, the link is right here, and ask the question writers to explain something that you found difficult. I hope you enjoyed reading this article, and I look forward to talking to you tomorrow about the next article that you'll read. Have a good night.